Shout out to Will. Man's been on that grind after getting that injury. I love you, bro. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and I'm really happy that you're doing stuff like this.
Hey, what's up YouTube? William Akio here, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the difference between the CPL and the MLS. So the MLS stands for Major League Soccer, and that's based here in the United States, and the CPL stands for the Canadian Premier League. So let's get to it. So guys, I tried to get as much information as I can, and I did a lot of research, and hopefully I can give you guys the information that you guys have been looking for. If not, you can always message me and I can go over it again and get back to you guys. But anyways, let's enjoy this video. So the CPL I'm going to start off with has 8 teams as of right now. Last year in its inaugural season in 2019, they had 7 teams. The 8th team that just currently joined is called Athletic Ottawa. So the way they bracket their season, they have a fall season and then they have a spring season. And the winner out of the 2 seasons, they play each other in a final, in the CPL final. So last year, Forge FC beat Cavalry FC in the final. And Cavalry FC is my hometown, Calgary, Alberta, where I grew up. So yeah, that's basically how it works. So now we're going to go on to how much these CPL players make. So it's not the same as the MLS or Europe. These players are making millions and millions. It's not at that level yet. It is a new league and it is still growing. But the salary cap for each team is about $750,000. So that equals out to, if you got 23 players in your team, around $28,000 to $30,000 per season per player on average. So it isn't too bad. For a brand new league and a brand new team, I feel like that is quite fair. It is almost similar to the USL Championship in the United States, but that's how much these players are getting paid. So if that is something that you're always interested in and you're looking to play at this level or looking to play in Canada, the CPL is always there for you, and it's something that you can definitely push for. So I also wanted to add that with the salary cap being $750K, it doesn't mean that each player gets a fair share. Some players do come from different countries, they do come from different places, and they will get paid more because they have been brought into Canada to play, right? So some players are ex-professionals in other leagues and other teams all across the world. So the salary does differ for certain players. If you're a top player and playing in the top 11 always, then you might get more than as if you were a new player joining in as a first-time league player, then you might be getting a little bit less. So it all varies, but at the end of the day, it is professional. You are getting paid something and you're still living the dream. So one thing I really liked about the CPL's growth was how they implemented in the draft. So the U Sports Soccer, that's like the soccer organization of all colleges and universities in Canada. So they now have the draft and they have the opportunity, these players, to go professionally and play in the CPL. So the way it works is each team gets 2 draft picks, and these players get a week or 2 with these professional teams in preseason and whatnot, and then they get the opportunity to sign the professional contract. So this is really good for youth. This is really good for young players aspiring to play professionally, because now Canadian youngsters, they don't have to move all over the place if they want to go pro. They can stay at home and they can do it from their cities. So it's really good to see. I'm happy that it is growing, and it is a great league if you're ever interested in playing in it. So next up is the MLS. The MLS has 26 teams, and actually 3 of those teams are Canadian, and that's the Vancouver Whitecaps, Montreal, and Toronto FC. So these 26 teams are split up into 2 conferences. There's the Western Conference and there's the Eastern Conference. And the winner out of the Eastern Conference, the winner out of the Western Conference, they both play for the championship cup called the MLS Cup. So the MLS is the first division. It is the highest level of soccer you can play in the United States. Next up to it is the USL, and then under that is the NISA, then there's MPSL, and then there's also the U23 PDL League, the league I play in the summer as a college student. So the MLS has been around for quite a long time, longer than the CPL. It's been around since 1993, and the CPL has only been around since 2019. But basically the MLS has changed lots, and it's also changed its game and its rules a lot as well. I remember when penalty shootouts used to be like hockey, the hockey version, where you would dribble up in front of the keeper 1v1 and you would try to score. So that was quite funny. They have now obviously changed that and it's more proper. And yeah, the MLS is it's a great league to try to push for. Me as a college student in the United States, Division 1 athlete, I'm trying to push for that and push higher as well. Those are my goals. But the MLS is a very good league, and so is the CPL. And it's really nice to have these teams and these leagues all around you, right? Because if you're a player that has a passion of playing professionally one day, then you'll have lots of options, and you can always do your research and find out what you want. So now we're going to talk about the salaries of the MLS players. So this one is much different than the CPL and the salary caps. The team do have salary caps, but they all differ. It's not the same. Some players make millions, similar to players in Europe, and then some players will make the average, which is about $60,000 to $75,000 per season. So obviously the players that are making millions are your Zlatan Ibrahimovic's, your Josef Martinez. These players are superstars on their teams, and that's why they get paid the most. But on average, you get paid from around $60,000 to $75,000 if you're in the top 24 squad player list. So it is a good league. You do get paid quite good. They do take care of you. You're part of a union, so if anything does go wrong, you don't really have to worry about losing a cut in your salary or anything. That is all covered, and you are very secured. So personally, I played a few MLS teams with my college, and it wasn't as crazy as I thought it would be. Everyone is the same. Everyone is a player, and everyone is doing the same job in the field. The only main difference was the speed of play. The speed of play in MLS is very high. They work very hard, and you see some things that you've probably never seen before. The players are running nonstop. They're just giving it their all, and that's what makes a professional player, right? You got to be able to work, and you got to be able to put in the effort, and you can't give up. That's the number one thing. You just got to keep going, and you can't give up. But that's one of the differences that I seen was the level of play, the strength, and the power that these players had, and they carried on the field. So now I'm going to be talking about how to move from CPL to MLS. So even though the CPL is a new league, the transition is not hard. The CPL, they broadcast a few of their games every season on CBC and ESPN and stuff. So there is MLS coaches, MLS scouts, they're always watching and they're always trying to pick up players. So as long as you're putting in the work and you're performing in all your games in the CPL, then you obviously get that opportunity one day. But it's not a hard transition to do. It just happens, honestly. And if you do have your own scout or agent, then you can make it easier. You can contact teams and you can work towards the next step. But if you don't, then it's all come down to purely hard work and just not giving up, because opportunity will come if you don't give up. So now I'm going to have one of my good friends, my brother, very great role model. He's very inspiring for a lot of people. He's going to be talking to you guys about his transition from the CPL to the MLS. So Joe Waterman's going to take over for the next few minutes here, and then we'll wrap it up. But you guys enjoy what he has to say and listen to what he has to talk about. And the professional game is amazing. Like if it's something that you want, it's doable. It's possible for any player.
What's up, y'all? My name is Joe Waterman. I play for the Montreal Impact, and Will asked me to kind of talk about some questions, talk about a few things about my transition from the CPL to MLS, and I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. But first, I hope everyone's staying healthy, everyone's staying safe. Shout out to Will. Man's been on that grind after getting that injury. I love you, bro. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and I'm really happy that you're doing stuff like this. So the first question is what my transition was like from the CPL to MLS. I've had this question a lot from media, people back home, and it's interesting because my big transition happened in the first couple weeks. We were in Florida for preseason, and just getting used to the pace, I think, was the biggest thing for me, and obviously the level of play. And for me, the biggest thing was when to play the right pass at the right moment at the right time, and just getting that down, getting the consistency of it right, and making sure that the margin of error is a lot less than in the CPL. Because I think in the CPL, for me personally, I got away with a lot more stuff that I can't get away with in the MLS, in terms of more on the defensive side of things. So for me, it's just trying to stay consistent in every performance, and You know, just adjusting to the pace and speed was definitely the biggest thing for me. How does the training differ from CPL to MLS? There's actually a lot of similarities. I think it just depends on who you are as a coach and how you kind of want to go about leading your team. I think a lot of the drills are kind of the same, with the same concept and kind of same result in mind, but I think it can be done in a lot of different ways. But for us, we play a lot of possession, a lot of games where it's competitive, because I think you have to get that competitive spirit in training, because that's just going to translate into the game. And but a lot of similar stuff for sure. And the last question was, what do you tell people who are wanting to become pro footballers? I think the main thing, the bottom line for me in my career was definitely that you have to love it. You have to love what you do. And for me, I absolutely love playing football. It's something that I like to do more than any other thing on this planet. So the love has to be there for the game. And then also realize that you're going to hear no's along the way. You're going to see, you know, a lot of coaches that might not like your style of play, who might not like you, like I said, the way you play or things of that sort. But you got to be ready for the no's. You got to be ready for the times that you don't make a certain squad, or you don't get that good contract, or whatever it may be, or wherever you are in your career at that time. Be patient, work hard, trust the process, and just do everything in your power to, you know, get to where you're at. Because I think for me, along the way, a lot of people didn't think I would make it here, and to be where I'm at now is a huge blessing from God. And but I also put in the work to get here too. So for me, it's just knowing that you're gonna hear those no's along the way, and also you gotta love it. You gotta love the sport, love what you do, and love, you know, obviously there's gonna be times where you don't want to work out or certain things of that sort, but you gotta love it and have a desire to do it. So thank you guys, thank you Will, and hope this kind of helps. DM me, follow me on my personal account. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to help, and hope you guys are staying safe. Peace.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I try my best to get as much information as I can. If I didn't get the exact information that you wanted, comment in the comments down below, or if you want, you can just DM me personally, email me, and we can chat. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much guys for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you guys later.